Hello, Flosstube. My name is Megan, and this is Stories and Stitches. Welcome back. Welcome. If you are new here, it is wonderful to see you. I hope you will stick around. It is Saturday, June the 1st, and this is Flosstube number 26. And I gotta tell you, when I was thinking about getting ready for this video, I was convinced it was going to be so short, because I didn't think I'd done anything. I didn't think I had anything to talk about. And then I started writing my notes, and I think I actually have quite a lot to talk about. So unless I talk at the speed of light, which I'm going to try real hard not to do, we might be in for a longer video, but we'll see. We shall see. We'll see. So without further ado, we should probably get right into it. So even though I thought I had stitched on 2, maybe 3 projects in the last 2 weeks, I've actually stitched on 5, which, pretty good. Pretty in between standard for me. So let's get right into them. The first one that I stitched on was my villains. So it's Mickey 2. And it is the one I'm doing, it's one of the Fandom Stitching Central sales for this year. And I was working on getting as many villains done this month, or started this month as I could, to be able to finish them in the June Finishes Challenge, which more on that later on. Things have changed. So I didn't get to the 24 new starts, 24 days on the same project for May for my, I didn't get the 24, but I did get the 15 days. And I'm very happy with my progress, both on this in the last couple of weeks, but just in May in general. So here's where it was, or here's a picture of what it will look like when it is finished. It is by L Cross Stitch on Etsy. Here is where it was the last time you saw it, and here is where it is now. So if I remember correctly, I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I did Cruella since the last time you saw it. I'm pretty sure I did Gaston, and this is one of the evil stepsisters from Cinderella, and maybe the Queen of Hearts that you haven't seen yet. You might have seen everybody else, but so there we have where it's at there. And I am loving how this is looking so far. I'm very excited. And I think I'm going to we'll talk about it a little bit more in plans, but I will probably keep working on this one to see if I can get some, I would like to keep working on it. We will see. I'll leave it at that for the moment. I did 643 stitches on that one. So I think I did pretty good for the last few weeks on that one. And I was going to total up how many I did in the month. Because if you remember correctly, when we started the month, I only had 2 villains started. So I'm pretty happy with that progress. Okay, next up, let me take off my needle minder here. I have a Autumn Lane Stitchery needle minder, a woodcut one that was from their Halloween Stitchy box this year. This one here is Camp Crystal Lake is living on this next project. And this one actually should come out of the queue now. Hold please. Right, I'm back. This is Half the Fun by Ink Circles. This is what it will look like when it is finished. And as you know, I've been working on this. The goal is to have this one finished by the end of the year. And I've been working on it in quarters. So quarter 1, quarter 2. I already had 1 quarter done at the start of the year. And then want it finished sort of 1 quarter, first quarter, whatever. I don't know how to explain it. Anyways, last I saw you, I only had a few stitches left to finish up the quarter. For this time around, I think, if I did my calculations correctly and remember. And I have this upside down, here's where it was the last time you saw it. And here is where it is now. So as you can see, I finished that third quarter, so it is done. So I now have 3 full quarters done. And because I wanted to get to a certain point for one of my fandom stitching challenges, I've actually done more. So I've started in on the next quarter. So all 4 of the trains are now done, which I have run out of green. So I have to go to Michael's one day because I am all out of my Pearl Cotton green, which is frustrating because I'm not going to need all that much of it to finish off, but I do need it. So because that train, I think, fingers crossed that I'm going to be okay for my other colors, but those trains just had so much stitching in it that even if the rest of it was pretty well balanced, they just took up so much thread. So yeah, anyways, I have started in on this quarter over here. So I have a train done. I have a little bit of other stuff done in here. I think I have all 4 of the horses done. I am very excited about that one. I think I definitely have less than 1,000 stitches left, possibly less than 700. So now the plan again had been to have this one finished in June for my June finishes, like to kind of go rogue and away from the quarters and finish it in June. It is still the plan to finish it for the finishes challenge. But as I said, we'll talk about that more. Instead of just keeping you in complete ridiculous suspense, the June finishes challenge is now the July finishes challenge. So I have an extra month in there to work with now. So I may continue working on this one a little bit to get it a little further and a little closer to a finish for July. But it's now looking like it'll be on track for a quarter 3 finish. But I'm honestly loving how this is looking as it is getting more and more done. I'm so excited for it to see it done. I did a grand, huge total of 41 stitches on that last time, since the last time you saw it. I think if I calculated it from the right date, there is a chance I did a few more than that, but we're going to go with 41. I'm not 100% sure. I had to have done more because I don't think we talked about me being out of thread the last time. And that train has more than 41 stitches in it. So I don't think that is accurate. That is not accurate. It is not at all accurate. I wrote down one of my dates of stitches, not both, when I was writing this up. I actually did. Hold on. Let me find my handy dandy calculator over here. 630 stitches on that one since you saw it last. That makes way more sense. My goodness. I knew something felt wrong when I wrote 41 down, and I didn't think it through fully enough. So quite a bit done, way more. The last time I talked to you, I was only planning on finishing up the quarter, but I've done significantly more than that since then. Okay, now I'm all thrown off. Man, I don't know how to math. Okay, so next up was Beach Babes. I have been working on this one pretty diligently, actually. I am trying so hard. My Stitch Pal is still telling me it's going to take until like early 2037 right now. And I mean, that changes all the time for me, but I am trying so hard to get it below 2037 and cannot. But anyways, this is one by Vicky Wade. It is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I'm not going to show you the picture because it is a gift for my mother. So you can go look it up though, because it is still available on the Heaven and Earth Designs website. Here's where it was the last time you saw it, and here is where it is now. So I have, as I said, been diligently working. I am working very hard at getting this purple color finished. I have less than 5,000 stitches, I think, to go on it, on that color now. And I won't get it fully done because there is a bit down below that I won't be, like, I'm not going to extreme cross country to get to it. But I am almost at a point where I need to move the Q-snap. So if I do move the Q-snap before I talk to you next, I will take a picture of it moved and share it on Instagram, hopefully, because I really want to see how it's looking. And so yeah, I did a lot, but this all over here, all the way to like here. Oh dear. All the way to about here, let's say, is done all the way down. So all of this section in here is all done. Working my way down here. I think I have a few more rows down here. And then I think once I'm ready to start in over here, I might move the Q-snap at that point. I can't quite decide. I can't decide if I want to just fill in here so that I kind of have it all filled to there and then move the Q-snap to do the last part, or if I want to just move the Q-snap even after this video. Because I could move it all the way over to like here, which may give me enough space to do the last. I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. But I am at, no. Oh, and I got to 15% on this one the other day. So I was very excited about that. So this is now officially over 15% of the way done. And it's like, I'm not quite at 50,000 stitches. I'm still in the 40,000 stitches range. My next sort of like big mind goal is 50,000 stitches. And I did a total of 2,286 stitches on this since the last time you saw it. And I think this one will stay out in June to keep on trucking away at it. Okay. I don't know where I'm putting things. I'm confused. So next up was my Halloween stitching, and I thought I'd missed it. No, I did miss it. So I didn't stitch on the whatever date, the 13th, and I could have done spooky stitching yesterday too. Well, currently what I seem to do is spooky stitching a day after. So it wasn't the 13th. It would have been the 23rd for the full moon. I missed, but I stitched on it on the 24th instead. Yesterday was the 31st, which I probably could have brought this out, but I didn't do any stitching yesterday. So maybe I'll pull it out again today. This is Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow by Carriage House Samplings. And this is how it will look when it is finished, or approximately. As you may or may not already know, I am doing a kind of a conversion. It's an unknown conversion right now because I am stitching it on gray fabric instead of, I don't know where I've put that. And I even looked it up the other day, I think, to see what color this was. But I'm doing it on gray, a gray color. So I may need to change some colors on it. This is where it was the last time that you saw it. And here is where it is now. So it's not done, obviously. There's all that, but let me close it up so you can see it. Here's where I've done. I am working on all the borders first. So I am carefully counting and counting and counting. I am working on all my borders because I would like to get all of the borders done so that I can then go in and work on a section when I feel like it, or switch around sections. So I am pretty happy with how that's turning out. And I did, what did I do? 528 stitches on this one. It seems to be, sorry, I am all over the place. That when I pick it up, I've been trying to get in about 500 stitches on it, give or take. It doesn't always happen, but that's about what I've done, I think. So I might pick this up again today and see if I can finish off these 2 squares of borders, because that would give me 90, about 300, give or take, and then I might start in on the next section. But, oh, no, because this square is actually a double. So I don't want to mess that up, but probably finish the bottom one and then start on this next one so that I can get a move on that. So I'm really happy with how this is turning out. I think that I really want to see if I can pull it out a little bit more to really try and get those borders done, because I'd like to be able to start working on sections of it, something that's not just black, 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 and black. Wouldn't that be nice? As we all know, I stitch on a lot of black, although not as much this month, actually. But no, I did. The villains had a lot of black in them. Okay. We are up to, sorry, I completely forgot what I was doing there. I need some water. I then stitched on Christmas stitching for the last project I have to show you, and I can't remember if I stitched on it on the 25th, like for Christmas stitching, or if I did it the 26th. I was all off. What can I say? But I did post on this one on Instagram. If you don't follow me, feel free to come check me out. I will try to remember to put my Instagram name below. It is Stories and Stitches X, so with an X at the end because I couldn't get Stories and Stitches. This is 'Twas the Night by Sue Hillis Designs. And I am doing it in mostly called for colors and a different background, and then the border is going to be different. I'm at the border now pretty much, so I have to for sure pick my secondary color for that. But here's where it was the last time that you saw it, and here is where it is now. So I have all the words done. I don't even know if you can see those top ones, but that was what I did this time, was the 'Twas the Night Before. 'Twas the night before. So it is, the words are finished. I absolutely love how it is looking on this fabric. I love how the placement turned out on my moon. I mean, I am, as I've mentioned a few other times, a tiny bit concerned that there is not a whole lot of space down here at the bottom, and there is not a whole lot of space at the top. The sides are fine. Top and bottom is tight. Because that, like, I used the full size of the fabric, but top and bottom is tight, but I am very happy with where the moon is sitting. I just think that is excellent placement, and yeah, chest kiss. So next up on this one is for me to count out. I have to count out to a border, and my border is going to be black and gray, like black and silvery gray. Is the plan for the border. And so I'm saying that, I'm like, I could do it in Krynic, but ooh, do I want to do that to me? Unknown. We'll see how brave I decide to be once I actually get out that way. I'll probably do the black first because I think, well, yeah. So on here it is, I don't know if it's gonna, we're getting glare here, but it's a dark gold and a light gold, like a dark and a yellow and light yellow. And I think that for the dark, I'll do black, and then the inside, I'll do a gray or a silver. So I will be, I think, starting with the black, and then I'll pick my gray after that to see kind of how it's vibing. But yeah, that is everything that I have worked on the last couple weeks. So on that one, I did 260 stitches. And hopefully, I definitely we'll pull that out again in June, but maybe I'll try and pull it out a bit before Christmas stitching. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So that is everything that I worked on. I do have 2 fully finished objects, 2 FFOs, that you've seen the finish on them already before, but now they're fully finished. So that is my book cage bookmarks. They are all finished and ready to go to the people who they're going to. So one is for my mom and one is for my sister. And as you've seen, I've started working this month on the one that will be for me. Because, you know, it'd be nice to have one for me. But this is the first one. I have added some black and gold ribbon. And this is the fabric that I chose. This is actually the same fabric I used on both of them. Here. There. And that is the front of that one. So they are both finished. And they have been sitting waiting to get finished for months because I think they've both been done since around Christmas. So it only took me almost 6 months to get them finished, but they are done. So I'm very happy with those. I never, at the beginning of the video, said the plans for this video. Oh well, that's okay. It is now time for plans, so I am going to discuss my plans. After that, I have a tiny little bit of haul. It's some patterns that I got a while ago, and you just keep forgetting to show them. So I will show them. So I will show you those, and then we will, I'll do my plans. I will show you the haul if you aren't interested. And then we are actually going to move into a little bit of a stories section. So I've just a couple things to chat about other things I've been enjoying in the last couple weeks. So we will do that today. Okay, plans. So my June plans are, I don't have any. Okay, that's not entirely true, but a little bit true. So my June plans had been to finish all the villains I started this month as part of the June Finishes Challenge, or hopefully. We're still waiting on the final details, but the June Finishes Challenge has actually now been bumped to July, which I'm okay with. I was ready to work on them this month, but I also kind of like that it's bumped off a little bit. So what we know about it is that SAL parts don't have to be started in the month to be finished. So that works out really well. So I'm probably going to plan to work quite a lot on Greenhouse of Oddities in July. I'm hoping that the villains will count for it, because the other rules are that the project has to be 50 by 50 at least. So the equivalent of a 55 by 50 piece. And I don't think the villains fit that individually. So we'll see where they fall. But outside of that, 50 by 50, it has to be at least 50% of the way finished, other than SAL parts, which don't have to have been started before the month. And then we don't know how many stitches have to be left in it yet to count as a finish. So we're kind of assuming 50 to 100 stitches, but those are still up in the air. And as I said, I don't think it's been mentioned how the villain SAL will count, or the Mickey SALs, because there's a Mickey Heroes and a Villains one. So I will probably hold off on completing my villains until July. I don't technically have to start any more of them because I could start them in July, but I might. We'll see how it goes. I was on a real roll with them for a while, so we'll see. And then I think with that in mind, I might work a little bit more on Half the Fun to get it a little bit closer to a finish, so I have less stitches on it to finish in July. And then there were a couple other pieces I had considered starting to work towards a finish that I might. So I might start the Easter cookies, the 2 remaining ones, and see if I can get them to almost 50% of the way done, and then count those. But feels a little ambitious for me right now. So that might not happen. But so really, at this point, my June plans are just going to be to work on prompts. I will probably try to pick a few projects that I want to focus on. Beach Babes will be one of them, probably Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. We'll see. I'll grab a few others that I want to focus on. And then just work towards the prompts. I'm definitely going to be working towards the monthly prompts because I've been enjoying that. And then we'll see what the weeklies are. So I haven't looked at any of that yet. I'll probably look at that later on today to get an idea. But that's pretty much my only plan for June as far as stitching goes. But my other plan for June is I literally had this, thunked up this thunk a couple hours ago. But I think I'm going to experiment with changing the format of my Flosstube videos, at least for the summer, or at least for the next month, and see how it goes. If I hate it, then, we'll go back pretty quick. But I'm away a lot this summer, not starting in June, but in July. I am away quite a lot, or enough on weekends that I'm worried my regular floss tubes might get bumped and pushed and all over the place, right? So, which is fine. I could work it out, but I'm rambling. I had the idea that I might switch to a vlog style Flosstube video, at least for the next couple months to test out. This has the benefit that A, if I'm away, I can still work on it and then I just have to edit it together once I'm home. And B, as I was mentioning in my last video, if you haven't watched it, I did quite a bit of an update on the stories, D&D stories stuff that I'd like to be doing. And one of the problems I was having was deciding how I was going to integrate Flosstube videos with that. And I think a vlog style video could work really well to do vlog style for my sort of regular Flosstube updates, and then have the stories, the D&D stories kind of as their own videos, but that kind of tie in that way. So you can watch one or the other. You wouldn't necessarily have to watch both. You could, obviously, to get both of it, but if you didn't like it, you could, right? And still kind of see some stuff. So that's kind of what I'm thinking at the moment, that it could work really well for my new stories campaign once I get that done. And it might work really well with my summer schedule. So I think I'm going to try that out. I know Calico and Whimsy, who I really enjoy, she does vlog style videos. She has been doing hers monthly, I think. So like a whole monthly update. I think I'm going to try and stick to 2 weeks still. But we'll see. It's a new thing, a new format, a new challenge. So I might not like it at all. I might love it. I might do them more regularly than 2 weeks. I might do them every 2 weeks. I might do them once a month. So it's also given me quite a few ideas and re-sparked me thinking about my stories part that I'm working on, because I'd sort of stalled. I'd gotten stuck and got really worried that I was I have a habit of overthinking myself out of projects. I think I've mentioned that before. And I had started worrying that I had bitten off more than I could chew, and it was all going to go terribly, and I had no plan, and I wasn't going to be able to integrate it. It was going to be terrible. But I think this has gotten me a little bit over that block, and I can see some possibilities now. So I'm very excited again. So that will be the plan for the next Flosstube. Now, of course, if in 2 weeks you see a regular Flosstube video, you'll know that it didn't go that well. But I'm going to see how I can do. I don't know, but we're going to try. Also, I just heard, I'm back. I don't know what you've seen just before this clip, but I just heard the dreaded sound that every cat owner knows of a cat getting ready to barf on the couch. So I didn't catch her in time. So there's a blanket that needs washing. Then she quite nicely moved to the rug. And so I've been dealing with that and cleaning that up. Okay, so she has now gone somewhere to, who knows, maybe cough up another fur ball somewhere, but I'm all thrown off. So what was I talking about? June plans, my vlog videos. Yes, so that's the hope. I'm going to see how it goes. I haven't really done a vlog style video for a while that I needed to kind of piece together and remember to do. That's going to be the big thing. Can I remember to film clips over the next couple weeks? We'll see. But I really want to try that style and see if I can make it work. But yes, let me make sure on my notes here that I've talked about everything. I think I have. Okay. Yep. Wonderful. So that is all of my plans. So I was all ready to move into my haul and say goodbye to everybody who didn't want to watch that part, and remembered I had one other kind of plan for June that I actually wanted to talk about. So I did get the Arctic Animal Sal, signed up for that, for the Frosted Pumpkin Arctic Animal Sal, and I haven't started it yet. I think I talked about it last video, but I need to do like a floss toss and stuff to decide which fabric I want to do. So that is my plan for June. I would like to do that floss toss and get that started before the next part comes out. Okay. That's my last of my plans. So If you are uninterested in the haul and the stories, then I will say goodbye to you now. Have a wonderful week, and but I hope that you will join me for the rest of the video. So, teeny tiny haul. I got all thrown off, like I'm all discombobulated. Teeny tiny haul. So, outside of the Arctic Animal Sal, which I did purchase, I don't remember if I had that. I think I'd bought it before the last video, but I have picked up 3 of the Fabulous House series houses. I think I've picked up so far the ones that I want that are out, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember if house number 6, which I think is the tree house, I think that's out, and I do want that one as well. Yeah, that one has to be out. The tree house, and then I think June will be another one. Anyways, so I have picked up Santa's House, which was the first one that I saw in the series, and I absolutely fell in love with. Oh, if you do not know, these are cottage garden samplings. So I did pick up Santa's House, which I'm absolutely in love with. Like, I'm not a huge house stitcher, but that is gorgeous. I also picked up the castle, which that's gonna be a beast to stitch. There's a lot in that one, but I love that. And I, of course, picked up The Hobbit House because how could I not? I love, 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 love Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. So that one was going to be a for sure when I heard that was one in the series. So, and I love it. I love it. So that is my teeny tiny haul. Again, I feel like I picked up something else, but I don't remember what it is. Okay. So stories. So I am all... Honestly, I'm all thrown off. I was on such a roll. I was in such a groove, and then the cat barf happened. And now I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I have been doing a whole bunch of random things the last couple weeks, which is why, like I said earlier, how I thought I wasn't going to have a lot in this video. That's why, because I've been kind of playing games and doing other things and not as much stitching, or I didn't think I'd been doing as much stitching. So first off, I've been listening to a podcast all of this week. Might have started listening to it last week, but definitely this week. It's an old one. It's one I've listened to before. I love it. It's a fictional podcast. It is called Tanis. It is fictional. It's kind of a fantasy. It's set up, if you aren't familiar with it, it's set up like an investigative journalist type documentary podcast looking into something that ends up being very mythological and mystical and, kind of creepy, spooky, but not too like spooky. And I really like it. I enjoy it quite a lot. I re-listen to it fairly regularly. So that's what I've been listening to. I've also been playing quite a few games on, I've been playing a bit of Stardew. I got on a bit of a Stardew kick again. I really, really wish that the update 1.6 was out for, was out for Switch, because it's not out yet for Switch, but there's a lot of things I wish I was playing of the update. But I did get back into that for a little bit. I've been playing a couple demos, been trying to clean up some demos, that just to kind of see what I want to play, what I don't want to play, what works on my Steam Deck, what doesn't work on my Steam Deck. So I have played a couple of those over the last few weeks. Some I've really liked, some have been meh. I've also been playing a few free-to-play horror games lately that I've discovered, and I don't know how familiar you are with free-to-play, but they can go either way. Sometimes they're really great, sometimes they're very microtransaction heavy, sometimes they're no good at all. But I have played a few, or the one that I'm going to mention that I really loved is one where the first chapter of it is free. And then whenever they do come around to putting out the second chapter, that will be paid. So sometimes there's a few chapter-based games that come out that way. So the first chapter or the prologue is free to kind of get you into it and get you hooked. And then after that, each chapter has a fee to it. This one is called Indigo Park, and it was beyond my expectations. It is amazing. It is so well developed. I will put a picture of it here. It is set in an amusement park that's been abandoned and broken down and is kind of haunted. And things have gone awry, and it's a mascot horror, I guess. And I enjoyed it a lot. The quality was amazing. If you are at all interested in that type of game, I would highly recommend checking it out. I did play mine mostly on the Steam Deck. I got it to work. I would recommend playing it on PC though, because I got stuck at the end. And there was like I don't want to give any spoilers, but there was something I had to do, and I tried it a bajillion times on my Steam Deck and kept dying, and had to replay through the whole thing on my computer and then beat it the like first or second time that I had to do it on there. So much easier with mouse and keyboard for sure, even though it almost works on Steam Deck. Like it's so close to working on Steam Deck, but mouse and keyboard works the dream and was so good. The other game is a cozy one. And if you like Stardew and you like any of those like cozy farming sim games, you might enjoy this one. This is called Little Gnome Galaxy. It is new. It's only been out for about a week. Came out on the 20th, I think. So that's 2 weeks. I fib. 2 weeks, give or take. I think I've already played 8 hours plus the demo. So I don't remember how many hours the demo took me to play. But I played the demo it was at least a couple hours and in a weekend. So I played the demo the weekend of the 18th and then fell in love with it. And I think in the first time ever, I think I bought it the day it came out or the day after it came out, and have been playing it fairly regularly ever since. It is kind of farming sim. I heard it described, the thing that drew me into it was an article I read that described it as Star Trek meets Stardew Valley. And I was like, well, I gotta check that out. And it is kind of a farming simulator-esque game set in space. The farming mechanic is different than most other games because you're in space on a spaceship, and there's some really cool story elements. The mines is very different. It is so much fun. I am having an absolute blast. I will put the picture up here. It is like space, but cutesy. If you've ever tried to play a space game, but they've been hard or too strategy for you or too much, this one is not like that. It is like your cozy farming game in space, but like with a twist. So it's not like in every other farming game. If you're tired of farming games, it's different. It's fun. I love it. I am completely hooked on it. The demo is still available on Steam. I went and checked, and the demo is very good. Like it's a very well-developed demo, which should give you an idea if it would be a game you would enjoy, which I always like when a demo is well put together and has enough content to really give you an idea if you're either going to like it or not. It's not currently on Switch, but if you play the demo and like the demo and put any feedback, all that kind of stuff, they may be able to bring it out on Switch eventually. Who knows? I think it would be great on Switch. So those are the two standout games that I've played and loved. And Little Gnome Galaxy is taking up a lot of my time because I played the demo, and I think I've played 8 hours of the game itself, which doesn't sound like a lot, but between everything else, it has taken up an amount of my spare time. And then the last thing I wanted to mention is this week, I haven't done a lot of stitching this week because I had band one night, and then I don't remember what I did another night, but I've been puzzling. I started a puzzle last Saturday, and then I started it last Saturday and then didn't really touch it again, and then pulled it out Thursday, and then that's what I did all Thursday night, and all last night was puzzle. I did finish it. I was going to bring the box down here and I forgot, but I will take some video of it afterwards and show you the puzzle that I worked on. It was a 1,000-piece puzzle. I was so nervous last night because I couldn't find a piece. I thought I had lost it, and I've been working on it outside on my deck and bringing it in, and I was so worried that I had either dropped it in the grass, like not in the grass, but like dropped it off the deck or dropped it down the cracks in the deck. But this morning I was making my bed and I found it. So very, very happy about that I actually found the piece, and I will put a clip of that in here. I'm hoping the lighting was really awful in my living room earlier today, which is why I haven't taken the clip yet, but hopefully you will see that now. Okay, I almost forgot to film the clip for the puzzle before it's still bright, but I am here now and I have done it. And this is my puzzle. If you are, I'm gonna have to get up on a stool here. If you are at all familiar with Randall Spangler, you may recognize this puzzle, but it is Randall Spangler artwork, and it is Cat Bookshelf. Now I am up on a chair, Megan, and back to your regular video. Okay, so I'm looking at the time, and it actually didn't take me quite as long to do this video as I thought. I was definitely anticipating over an hour of filming time, and even with cat drama interlude, I'm still not an hour at an hour of I'm still not at an hour of filming. So I don't think I have too much else to share. I don't really have anything for life update that I can think of right now. And yeah, I don't have any other updates on my gaming stuff or anything else like that. I'm trying to think if here I am like trying to think if I have more to say. But I will wrap up because I do think that's it. I don't know why I keep clapping. It's a very clappy, handy kind of day. I will wrap up. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I am hoping that you like the possibility of vlog style videos, ones that are done a little bit different. Let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you did make it to the end, this is neither here or there, but I've been watching a lot of Jigsaw Puzzle. Look at me doing an interlude in the end of my wrap up. But I've been watching some Jigsaw Puzzle YouTube, so that's the kick I'm on. You know, this is how I roll. But the one girl, she does like a code word at the end of her video, which I thought was adorable. So the code word for this video, if you made it this far through my ridiculous rambling outro wrap up, is space. I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day. There. I want them to sit up nice for I want them for my thumbnail, but this guy's hair is going all wacky. Oh my goodness, your hair, buddy, your hair. Okay.